Hello there, welcome to
Red Hot China.
Pan, have you recently heard about the crazy things said by President Trump?
Which one? The ones about injecting the disinfectant?
He just advised people to inject the disinfectant into body to contain the virus.
I can't believe he said something like that.
You know, every time he said something, and apparently on the internet in China, even if Chinese are so far away from the White House, but they will get the news in the first place.
Yes.
And you know, some of the reactions are really crazy too.
That's scary.
You know, someone just said, I just can't believe that some people really did it, you know?
There are also a group of people who go on protesting that they want their rights. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I saw that. People wrote, that's my body, so I have the right to choose.
I mean, to live is everything that counts. If you're dead, you're dead.
Maybe days after, people will realize that what they did is really dangerous. I mean, they have their parents, they have their relevance, and they will
Days after, the protest will die down because they'll all be in ICU.
What on earth are they really thinking? And some others said, the president and the citizens do whatever they think is right, and they just never listen to doctors. You know,
yes.
Do you still remember how Fauci, the medical advisor, was when he heard what Trump said?
Yeah, no.
The face.
The hand on the face, right?
careful,
Yeah,
right?
I saw that. No, did you see Dr. Burke's face?
Okay.
That one viral as well. When Trump was making the statement, did you see she's like sitting behind him with Trump looking at her?
She was just paralyzed when he heard what Trump said. And maybe the president was making a joke, but finally, I don't think it was a good time to do that.
Yeah, no one gets it's a joke. People actually did it.
You know, people maybe they are so desperate for a cure, but this time they really listened to a wrong person. Trump's was. Really? He, like most of the politicians, always talked in a specific way that even if you understand every word he said, you can never get the meaning of the sentence. This reminds me that at the first week of the COVID-19 outbreak in China, there was also a wrong message published by state media, suggesting that shuanghuanglian, a typical Chinese medicine, can help to contain the virus. And many people rushed into drugstores, you know, to try to buy it, but later the message was quickly dismissed. I mean, I just want to point out that reactions in such situations are the same, but the difference is shuanghuanglian is taken to ease cold or cough symptoms, while disinfectants can kill you if you drink it and should only be used externally. Come on, this is common sense. You won't add any body cream to your meal just because there is a huge food shortage, right? You just don't do it.
But later on, he said on a press conference that I'm not taking any responsibility for this.
Even if they were advices by a president, but you should make your own reflections on that before action. You know?
Well, I guess it's a good thing a lot of people did call the emergency sensors.
Just because they drank some of the disinfectant into bodies. Yeah. I mean, maybe they just don't follow the right rules because the president said you should inject it.
Even kids in China knows that they shouldn't drink disinfectants.
Right.
But talking about kids, some primary schools, they have started already. So kids are going back. Did you see the photos of them wearing the hat?
You know, the first time when I saw this 1 meter hat, I may come up with an idea. Why don't you put in a circle, a solid circle around your head to keep the distance? Yeah, that would be exactly 1 meter distance. But after that, I think I'm a fool because it would be a simpler way to do that, to paste 2 sticks in both sides of the hat, and then that would be more like an official hat in the Song Dynasty. I think that would be a smarter way to do that.
Okay, why in the front?
Perhaps that will be more direct. To measure the distance, but you should think of the children are there to follow the classes, and if they have the stick just in front of the head, they just can't follow the teachers because teachers are just in front of them. But anyway, that could be a very good way of learning, and you ask the parents and students to join together and draw some things using different colors. That will be nice because it's personalized and they can learn a very creative way of learning and protect themselves in the meantime.
And talking about that, other schools have started already. So a school in Xi'an, they came up with something interesting as well.
What is that?
There was a video about it. So basically, when children get off school, all what they do is that they rush to the gate to their parents, and then the parents pick them up. So there's like kind of a little gathering there. And because of social distancing, what they did in the school is that the teachers asked the students to go to the playground class by class, And so they kind of march along the running tracks, going in circles, and while their parents see them, they kind of go up and claim their child, much like the airplane baggage reclaim area.
I think of another thing. That will be the entrance parade of Olympic Games.
Oh yeah, kind of something like that.
Every class have a little plate on hand marking which class they belong to, and then they wait for the parents to come.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe this idea came
Maybe it came from that.
a sushi plate.
Yeah.
What is certain is that teachers really put a lot of thought into it to try to resolve this question.
Yes.
Because, you know, schools are worried about welcome their students back in this period of time to not lag too many classes behind, but you should always keep the social distance to ensure the safety.
Yes, definitely.
Well done. Do you feel thrilled when you're watching it?
Oh, well, to be honest, I'm not a space fan. But what I am interested in is the name.
It is kind of special because it's coming from an ancient poem, Quest for the Heavenly Truth. That will be the translated title of it. It was written by Guan, and he lived around 2,200 years ago in the 3rd century before Christ. And that was exactly the same period in Europe when they have Punic Wars. I think the name is
Very
well
fitting
picked.
name. I know, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
because that represents exactly the mission and the goal of this probe. To find something interesting on Mars, perhaps a new form of life, or I don't know. But some of the fans, not like you, some of the space fans are really waiting for great success. And here it is. In some countries, there will be a debate. Should we put so many money into a space mission which is so far from our daily life? That will be the core of this kind of debate.
We don't have that in China, do we?
Not quite. I mean, people are really proud to see that there will be progress made by the scientists, and the launch of this probe was selected liberally
On the day, on the space day, right? Yes.
That could do a lot of good things, especially for the students in schools. Because personally, I didn't have the chance when I was in school to follow the science courses, because at that time we just didn't have this kind of course.
Okay.
But the generations after, they got the chance. They have the science courses, and they also have the chance to watch the live examples of launching a satellite or a rocket or probes into space.
And the space day was specifically chosen to be on the 24th of April because that was the very first time the Chinese launched something into the universe.
You know, maybe that's the space thing. When you send a probe like this one to a faraway planet, maybe you should wait decades or 100 years for the results coming back. And maybe this time we should really leave something for the generation to come to find out what's on the Mars then.